Yeah, good to see you. How do you feel about restarting your season 2 wins away from the title, but in what will be very different circumstances to what you'd normally expect from a Merseyside derby at Goodison Park?
Yeah, but we know that already. First and foremost, hello. For most of you, nice to see you again. Some of you respected obviously that hairdressers are not allowed uh, to work in a moment. Yes, we know for a while already that we have no supporters. So I answer that question pretty much every day, but my answer cannot change. It's all different. It's all different, but we cannot change that. So we have to use the circumstances, not suffer from that. That means there's a game between Everton and Liverpool, which is still a derby. And important for both teams for different reasons, and that's what we are looking forward to. That the circumstances are like they are. We try to get used to during the training period now in the last 4 weeks roundabout, with playing one proper test game against Blackburn and two internal. And it looked like football. It looked like football what we did there, and that's very important. And when we all started playing football, it was without crowd. When we play today football, if I play from time to time, not really often, it's without crowd. I still want to win. So and that's exactly how it is. So it's not a perfect situation, but it's as good as possible. And so that's what we are preparing for. And I will not miss it during the game because I know already that it's not there. But I'm really looking forward to it when the crowd will be back, I can tell you.
Yeah, but as well, throughout lockdown, we've seen examples of football being used as a force for good. I'm thinking of Jordan Henderson and organising donations from players to the NHS. But also, what do you make of the way footballers have been using their status to affect social change, the reinforcing of the Black Lives Matter message, and Marcus Rashford, of course, forcing the government into a U-turn over free school meals for kids?
You try to be smart, yeah? You put three questions in one, pretty much. I don't think it makes sense to mix that all up because it's all very very important and for different reasons. So let's start maybe with the first one, what Hendo and the players did during the lockdown. I'm proud of the players, but I'm not surprised because I know that the players do a lot of things without really talking about it. That's what makes me proud. So I was not surprised that the players will be immediately ready to help in this difficult time. But then what Marcus Rashford did, I couldn't respect it more. It's unbelievable. It's a little bit of a shame that he had to do it, but because things like this should be yeah, just natural. But there was something to do, and he did the job in an incredible manner. What he did during the lockdown was absolutely fantastic, and yeah, Black Lives Matter. So that's another thing which I hope in this case, especially in this case, it's the last time that we have to make sure that everybody hears and sees that, because it's too long that we already deal with these kind of things for reasons I really don't understand. If football is a role model for anything in life, then it's for that, for equality, that everybody is exactly the same. Wherever you come from, wherever you are from, absolutely the same. It's all about who you are, not which color you have or whatever, or which haircut or whatever. I know from my point of view it's easy to say that, but it's not easy for me. Well, people may think it's easy to say that, but it's not easy. It's just for us in football completely natural, and that's how it should be everywhere. Judge people only because of who they are and not any other things. It's so dumb. It's so unbelievable dumb to not doing it like this that it's really hard for me to even understand it a little bit why it could be like this. But it is like this, and so we have to stand up, we have to kneel, whatever we have to do, and we will do 100% just to sort this situation for now and for the future, because the past we cannot change, but the future we can change, and that's what we all should try.
And just finally for me, obviously the links with Timo Werner throughout this period, it seemed to jump from having no plans to sign him to a telephone conversation with the player to pulling out of the race to sign him. Can you clarify what went on as regards any pursuit for Timo Werner?
That's now really funny. We don't speak about transfers. We potentially do. And now I would speak about a transfer of Chelsea. Funny. Why should I do that? No, absolutely nothing to say about it. Timo Werner is a really good football player and plays, how I've heard now, is it true? I think yesterday he announced it, for Chelsea next season. That's it.
Right, thank you, Vinny. Crabbers, are you okay to unmute yourself, and then we'll go to Simon. Hello. You're on. 2 questions, Simon.
Hello, Jürgen. Happy belated birthday for Wednesday for
Thank
everyone. I read on the club's website you've been asked about Everton's form going into this Merseyside derby, but in comparison to your own form at Liverpool, the last 6 matches weren't great. I think you lost 4 of the last 6. So, how confident are you of getting your own form back, and how important is it going past that 6 points when you've secured the title to keep that going, and whether records are or aren't important?
Oh, thank you for reminding me. I didn't know that actually, so we didn't speak about it one time during our pre-season here now, because it's not about that. If you don't have the results, you want to have. There are plenty of reasons usually for it, and the intensity of a season is always one part of it. So we don't use the form of Everton, which they had before the lockdown, and our shape in that moment had no influence really. I know that a lot of people said the Atletico game, and we lost it obviously, but from a performance point of view, I was really happy with that game, to be honest. We showed a lot of these situations, not that we didn't score goals or that we conceded goals, but in between these 2 big moments, there was a lot we can use for the rest of the season, because it was really good against the top side. So it's not important what was before. It's like you would ask me when we start the new season then about a game I had against a team the November before. So it's just not important. It's all about now. It's all about the momentum and where we are in. And we try to make sure that we're in as good a shape as possible. And one thing for sure changed. It was our last 4 weeks were not as intense as the 10 weeks or 12 weeks before lockdown, which were the most intense in our lives probably from a football point of view. And so the boys were rested when they arrived here. They had a lot of things to do during lockdown, training-wise and all the things, that's clear. But getting used to football is something different. So we had a lot of things to do now in the last 4 weeks. We did that. And we are in the best possible shape. We don't know. That's probably not our 100%. I don't know. But for Everton, they had the same time. Not more, not less. They had the same time. So nothing to do with shape or whatever. It's all about being ready for facing problems in a football game, finding solutions. My job is to prepare as many solutions as possible. And like always, the players have to pick them in the best way, instinctively. That would be great. Then we will have a good game, and Everton will be highly motivated. Starting with a derby in a normal season already would be really interesting. And now it's our short season, and it's very interesting. So it's a special game for different reasons, and we try to do our best, and then we will see what we get for it.
And if we're trying to get things back to anywhere near normal, I suppose I'll have to ask you a team and injury question as normal from a press conference. So how's Mo Salah, how's Andy Robertson, and given that Alisson didn't play the last few matches before everything stopped, should we assume he'll be back in, or is that too much to do?
They look all good. They look all good. We had, of course, during the lockdown, during the training period now, some little problems. That's completely normal, how we always have it. But none of them is ruled out for Sunday, I can say.
Okay, thank you, Simon. If you could put yourself onto mute, and we go to Juliet, as we would in normal order. If you could unmute yourself, Juliet, and 1 or 2 questions. Hopefully 1. You can sneak a second.
It will be 1.
Thank you.
Jürgen, you mentioned then about being in the best possible shape and having that momentum. How much match fitness and rhythm can players lose during a break like this? Well, probably we'll never experience a break like this again, but in terms of pre-season, it's longer than pre-season, isn't it?
Yeah, so in 9 weeks without doing anything, you can lose pretty much everything. You only have to try it by yourself. When you are good in something and then you don't do it for 9 weeks or do nothing for 9 weeks, that looks different afterwards. But the players trained every day. So it's not about that. But you don't train them for a specific moment in this period, because we had never an idea until maybe a week before we were allowed to start again with training. We didn't know at all when we will start again. That made it quite tricky, because you cannot, training is completely different if you just want to keep fit or if you want to be in your best shape on a specific day. So that's just sports science and nothing else. And we kept them fit until we knew now we will go again. So, and that's how I said, was probably around about a week before we started then with training out there on the pitch. So you can lose a lot, but the boys don't lose a lot. We have in problem, so fitness-wise. In football, we have the problem that's unfolding. Unfortunately, it's not like riding a bike. Well, we say in German, you never lose it, or because you can it once, and you will be able to ride a bike until your last day in life. That's not with football, because we have to bring 11 or more players together, having the same idea in the same moment. And these kind of things, of course, you have to train. You have to train that even in a normal week. If you play Sunday or Saturday, you have to train it, and that's what we do. And you have to train it even more so after a longer break. And that's what we were working on. But it looked really good. A lot of things were still there, but timing and stuff like this, that always needs to be adjusted, and that's what we did. So I expect us to be in a good shape, honestly. We will see how good it is, but I don't know exactly. And I expect to be, and that's what I always do, Everton in a very good shape. And so it will be difficult for us, but rightly so. It's Premier League. We didn't play for a while, so we should try to sort the problems in this game, and we should give them some as well, and then we will see.
Okay, thank you, Jules. If you could go back onto mute. Mike Hughes, who seems to have the best setup of everybody on his system. Wonderful microphone and headphones. Mike, if you can unmute yourself. If not, I can. There you go, Mike. 2 questions, please.
Yeah, hi Jürgen. Just in terms of, we know this is uncharted territory over the past 3 months. How impressed have you been with the players' attitude, obviously since you've been back in training, and then it was non-contact training initially and then contact training. But even before that, we've seen a lot of social media films and different bits and pieces. How impressed have you been by the togetherness? Because it seems to be something pretty special amongst this group.
First and foremost, I would guess or estimate that other teams did things as well. I don't know exactly, to be honest. I don't watch that, but I'm not surprised by my team, to be honest, because that we are in the situation we are in the table, or performance-wise in the last couple of years, is only because of the boys and the togetherness of the group and the character of the individuals. That's how it is. So I'm not surprised about that. It was just like it always was. The boys wanted. We didn't have to tell them stay in contact. They wanted to stay in contact. That's a massive difference. And we organized it a little bit with some things, and we gave them some opportunities to be together. The training sessions, especially, the boys did a lot of yoga. Zoom sessions were a lot of times yoga, and all these things. So that was all absolutely nice. It was good for the mood. You could see when we met first time on Zoom after a week or so, I'm not 100% sure, then you could really see everybody was like, oh, finally I see him again, and so that all helps, and that's what we wanted to do. And the Friday before lockdown, I told the boys we will create a WhatsApp group, a chat group, and I want really everybody to use it just as opportunity for us, because boys write with each other and stuff like this. But there are no secrets. There are no secrets if we write to each other. It's for all of us, and that's what we did, and it was really lively over the whole time. So yes, I was really happy about what they did during, and now since we are back, look, if you're a little bit silly, you can come in here every day and think, wow, that was better before, when we could use our canteen, when we could use this, when we could use that. But now it's all different. It's exciting if you want to see it like this. It's like a little bit adventurous as well. So I would have never thought that we go back to having the gym in a tent, to be honest. But how our people organized it, what Ray Huffen did was incredible. What Andreas Kornmeier did from a fitness point of view was incredible. What Mona Nemmer did from a nutrition point of view was incredible during the lockdown, but now as well, because the situation is like it is. we cannot just go out and for grocery shopping. We should be able to, but in a situation like this, it's not easy to do these kind of things when everybody tells you you have to be safe. For us, it would be a massive problem if one of our boys get infected. So, and that stays like this. So we have to make sure that we can really keep them in a safe place as much as possible, and that's what we did. And the boys let it happen. That's how it is. The boys use it without taking it for granted. And that shows again the character of the team. But again, I am not surprised because I know how blessed I am with this group.
All Premier League games are pretty intense. Derby matches in particular, Merseyside derbies are pretty frenetic affairs on occasions. The intensity levels are ratcheted up even further. Do you think it will be the same on Sunday? Do you expect the same sort of, levels of intensity, given obviously, neither side have got the fitness levels that they had previously? So how will that sort of affect the tempo of the game, do you think?
We will see. So I'm actually a pretty experienced manager, but I have not a lot of experience with games behind closed doors and stuff like this, so I don't know exactly. I had a lot of preseasons in my life as a player and as a manager. Some preseasons, the first game was exceptionally intense. In some others, or after some preseasons, the first game was exceptional. After some other preseason was not that. I don't know. When I saw now the first two games in the Premier League, that looked absolutely. They looked all in a good shape. The intensity was good. We will maybe judge it then a little bit differently, because we can really focus on the game. And sometimes when you watch a game on television and the camera goes to the crowd or whatever, and then you see not how the players in this moment, how hard they are breathing or things like this. We will see that now all, but I don't think the intensity will be absolutely okay. I watched a lot of Bundesliga games, obviously, and especially in the beginning, the intensity was really there, 100%, and then it became a bit tricky for all the teams because of the number of games we have in a really short period, because we don't have only a long break and a short preseason. We have now a lot of games in a pretty short period of time, but that's the challenge for all of us. I mean, how that will influence the intensity, I don't know in this moment. We will not go for excuses. We hopefully don't have to as well. So we will see, but it will be 100% really, really tough for all of us. So everybody's playing. So many things have to be decided in this league. Yeah, the Championship, of course, then Champions League, of course, European League, of course, and then pretty much not the rest, but a lot of teams are involved in the fight for staying in the league and all this up. So that will make the intensity. Even if you feel tired, there's no chance to suffer. You have to go through, and that's for all of us the same. And but that makes the competition so exciting. That there's really something to go for, and I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you, Mike. I think we go now to Carl Markham. Carl, if you can unmute yourself. As typically we can't. There you are. Yes, top row.
Oh.
Just to the left of Vinny. Fire away, Carl. Great to see you.
Thank you. Thank you. Just following on from that, just wondering how much you're concerned by the potential injuries which could affect the team with this comeback and obviously we've seen from other games that have been played.
Yeah, concerned, like I always am. Not different. I'm always concerned about injury, because that's the thing you want to avoid. You want to have all the players fit and available. You want to have the choice. You want to have the situation that you have to make difficult decisions and stuff like this. But we try to make sure that the boys are as fit as possible. So if I would have thought it's no chance that we can, after 4 weeks we play the season or the rest of the season, I would have said it. So I'm not. That doesn't mean nothing can happen. But for example, the injuries from Arsenal and from Garcia, from City, they had nothing to do with the short preseason or anything else. These are the things, they can happen always. It's a contact sport. You don't want to have this, but it can happen. And so, yes, I'm concerned, but not in a manner that I think we should not play. No, not at all. I think we had 4 weeks, and we had 9 or 10 weeks. I don't know exactly how long our lockdown without training was. We had the boys trained there, So they were not sitting on a chair for 9 weeks, and then we trained with them again for 4 weeks. So they were really active. They had to be active. That's young sports people. So I think we all, not only us, we all will be fine.
You've spoken a lot about what you did for the players while they were training from home. I'm just wondering, for you as a manager, did you still feel like a manager during that time, or did you feel like your role changed in a way when they were working from home and you were able to contact them on Zoom, and did your relationship change with them in any way?
My role didn't change a lot, because usually I watch training, and that's what I did this time as well. I decide about what we are doing, and that's what I did there as well. So that didn't change, yeah. But of course, we all realize that it's nice to have these technical little assets to stay in contact, but it's still different. It's still different. And when I speak to my players on a Zoom talk, or if I have them in a room and speak to them, that feels different, because it is different. But that was not, again, something we couldn't change. So life is always make the best of what you have. And in this moment, it was the best we could do. And that's why we did it. And we didn't think about, but the other thing would be better, let's come together, let's hide somewhere, and let's do some things together. That was never in our mind. So how is that? Makes no sense to think about things you cannot change, and we didn't do that. We used it, but the longer it took, of course, the more difficult it became. So it was a good moment, actually, when we then were allowed to train again, even in the small groups. That was already a massive relief for all of us. And so, all good now.
Okay, thank you. David Lynch, I don't know if I can see you. Do you want to wait? Are you okay? Did you want to ask something? Perfect. Yeah, Lynchy, fire away.
You touched on obviously the increased risk of injury coming back from that break. I just wonder how useful the new rule regarding being able to make 5 subs will be, and if that's going to be really in the forefront of your mind when games are going on.
I don't think I spoke the increased risk. I got a question and answered it. I think it's normal. It's a normal risk, but of course it's always there. 5 subs is a necessity, to be honest. I'm really sure that I'm really happy that pretty much all I think agreed on that. And it's, if you saw now the game, I heard in the beginning when people spoke about that then maybe bottom clubs said that it will be an advantage for the bigger teams and stuff like this. I didn't see it 1 second like this, because it's all about the players again, that we can come through this period. We will have now 2 games in 3 days. Then we have an 8-day break, which is not so cool, but not to change. And then we play 4 games in 9 days. And if you cannot make changes then in the games and try to figure out who can play how long and which moment, I hope we have then the players for that. And it would be really, really difficult. So I like that the opportunity to do so. But of course, it was just necessary, honestly, nothing else. And I'm really happy that we all agreed on that.
Thanks, David. James Pearce, I'm afraid I can't. Can I see you, James? Do you want to ask anything, or are you okay? You good?
Yeah, just the one, if that's okay. Hi, Jürgen, you okay? You're so close to a historic achievement for the club after that 30-year wait. Over these past 3 months, were you ever worried you wouldn't get to this point and you would be denied the chance to actually win it on the field rather than in another way?
Honestly, yes. It was the moment when I didn't think, when we went to lockdown, I didn't think about a second that, oh my God, and that's in our season and where we are so close and stuff like that. Not for a second, because it was not important in that moment. I became worried in the moment when people started talking about nil and void the season, because it was like, wow. And I really felt it physically, that would have been really, really, really hard. We don't expect to get it as a present, so we didn't want to have it on a points per game thing. So we were really happy when it was decided that we can play again. But there were moments, you know how long the discussions were. Some people brought it up from time to time for different reasons. And when that was off the table, I felt quite relieved. And Yeah, now we are here. So if they would have done the points per game and we couldn't have played, then we probably would be now champions. So now we aren't. We have to play for it. That's great. That's how it should be in sports. And now we go for it. So that's it. We don't think in our mind we are already nearly there or whatever. We know the situation in the table, but we saw City playing. We see all the other teams. We know we needed a lot of work to come where we were in this season, but we needed luck as well. That's how it always is. So, and that's what we need again, because it will be tougher the toughest the next few weeks. I hope I can enjoy it, because that's the plan actually. That hard work was never a problem to us, but we need to make sure that we really play again the best football we are able to play, and then we will be fine, and we'll see what we have to celebrate and how we can celebrate. But these things are only important in a moment when it's then finally happened, and not before.
Okay, guys, last couple now. I think Neil Jones is. What's that mean to say? You've got a question still going, Neil? Yes.
Hi, yeah, you okay?
Pass me the telly.
Just wanted to ask about Minamino. I mean, it would be hard for them to adjust in the middle of the season anyway to come to a new club, but obviously to do so in the circumstances that he has. Has it helped him settle in that regard? He's been spending maybe more time speaking to his teammates, or how do you view that situation?
Oh yes, massively so. So it was. Look, a new players coming in, and usually it's how it is with us, especially that you say, come on, the first 2, 3, 4 months we don't really judge. So we don't, but I know the public does, and that means then we have always to explain why it's not like this, why it's not like that, and all these things. And the more time you have, for whatever reason, the better it is. And now we had 4 weeks, which is, by the way, the longest preseason I ever had with any Liverpool side together. We were all together over that period. That's a massive difference. Usually we have it all together only one, or I think last year it was not even a week when Sadio came back. So, for example, so that was a massive difference. And it helped. It helped him. It helped the kids a lot. Nico, Curtis, Harvey. It helped them really. We brought even more young kids up, Jake Kane and Leighton Clarkson. So that's so nice to see them, and how much they get the benefit of the way we train and the way the other players treat them. So yes, it helped. And Taki, 100%. He looks really different in the moment than to the first 3 weeks when he tried to please everybody and to do everything what we say, and that's in a language where he's not 100% comfortable with, and all these things. So that's how it is. So we had now much more time. He had much more time to settle, and he settled. And so that's good. And that helped.
Okay. Final question in the open is Don, who's top left. And then just before you start, Don, just a reminder, guys, if you could leave the meeting relatively promptly, that would be helpful for us. We'd like to boot you out of the virtual meeting just quickly, if that's okay. Don, final question for the press conference.
Okay, cheers. Hi, Jürgen. Obviously it's been great to see the Premier League supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. We spoke about that earlier. It's been a really real positive this week. There are, of course, some people who would criticise this and say you should stick to football and keep politics out of football. You're a person who has, made their positions known on certain social and political issues. I just wondered if you could explain why you think it's important that sports people, when they can, do take a stand, and how people like yourself and the footballers can have a positive impact.
But that's not, for me, this thing is not a political thing. It's a political problem. It's a society problem. So, and we are all part of the society. So we should have an opinion, at least. And if you have an opinion, you can speak about it. It's politics, not sports, and politics should not be together or stuff like this. That's something I agree of, kind of, but I'm not 100% sure. That depends to the subject, I would say. But this is absolutely a society thing, and it's all about that we have to show finally and hopefully the last time everybody that we are all the same. It's just so unbelievable that we talk about it, but we have to talk about it because things happen still, and it's not. I heard the discussions about black managers or BME managers and stuff like this, and in all parts of life, in all leading roles. Why should anybody make a difference between two guys because of one thing which is absolutely not influential? I will never understand it. I have never understood it. But it's about, in this moment, making a clear stance from all of us that there are maybe some idiots, but there are not as many as we think. And if they are not that powerful as we hopefully, as it is hopefully, then we can change the world. Absolutely, and I hope we do that now.
Okay. Guys, thank you very much. If you stay there, thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much.
See you again on Tuesday. We'll send the announcement out. Okay, guys, thank you. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.